Hi, my friends, my beauties. I'm not really feeling very good today, hence why there's no makeup, no wig, although I did just get my wig styled yesterday by my girl Jenna, and it is so stinking cute. She curled it up for me real nice, and can we just give a little shout out to this cowlick? I showed up at her salon yesterday, and she was like, yeah, that's a cowlick. And I was like, oh, so I just brush it out? She's like, good luck. It's not gonna happen. So we have some bald spots going on in random places, but my hair it's there, and we have this cowlick, but you can't, even if you get it wet, you cannot brush it out. So just a minute to laugh about that. You just have to find joy in these things, because if not, it's kind of crazy. So shout out to my cowlick. But you know, I wanted to come on here and make a video because I just shared with y'all the other day I had a mammogram and an ultrasound to check the size of the mass in my breast to see if how the cancer is progressing. You know, we wanted it to shrink all the way down, or to shrink a good bit. And I reported back to y'all that it did not. It didn't change at all. Not even a little bit. And I think for a lot of people, your first thought would be devastation, sadness, frustration, like, whoa, I just went through this really hard chemo where I couldn't get out of bed. That adriamycin is no joke. That's the one that I nicknamed the Holy Lamb's blood. I said I was getting communion when I took it. So in first glance, it can be devastating. You can you could be potentially scared and say, whoa, this cancer didn't shrink. But two, a frustration of, I just went through months of this very painful, very difficult, aggressive chemotherapy, and it didn't change at all. That could be somebody's first thought. I don't really see it that way. I walked into that appointment knowing it doesn't matter what that report says, because God is the great physician, and He has final say, and He in a breath can heal me. He doesn't need the chemo to heal me. And I don't know, I just have this feeling, and I actually got confirmation last night about this, but I almost like knew going into that appointment. It wasn't like a pessimistic, this wasn't me being negative, but it was almost like Holy Spirit had prepared me and letting me know that report's not going to change. You're not going to have the answer that you want, the answer that you're looking for. Hold up, we have a baby crying. Hold on, buddy. I'll be up in a sec, okay? Here he goes. Mama's making a video, okay? And then I'll come. You want to come say hi? Come say hi real quick. I already could tell by the look on your face. Come here, cutie. Okay, hold on. Let me lift you up. Ready? 1, 2. Oh, hold on there. Say hello, ladies. Oh, don't knock it. Whoa.
Hello, ladies.
Hello, ladies. Oh, boy. Really? Hey.
Love you.
All right, go get this. I'll be up as soon as I'm done, okay? Love you. Okay, so mom life. Now I probably just made me lose my train of thought, but side note, life doesn't stop because you get a report that you don't want. Life doesn't stop because you have treatment. That I've been very open and honest about that. The hardest part of this cancer journey is by far my kids, because he's 4 and he, to the best of his ability, understands mama doesn't feel good or watch mama's port. You know, like the other day he was tossing a football and he said, Mom, stop, you can't come in here, you're port. Like, he knows, like, hey, we're not be throwing a ball when I'm in the room. But it's looking your loved ones in the face and telling them, or not even in the face, even over text. I had a family group chat, and I had to text my entire family and tell them that my report wasn't the way that we wanted. And that's hard. That's kind of one of the hardest parts about this. By far, the kids is the hardest part, because they, you know, they're used to me being a full version of myself and always pouring into them 110%. And it doesn't matter how I'm feeling or what I'm doing. They're my priority. They're my focus. God first, you know, husband, them. But in this season, it's not like that, and everything's different, and that's hard for them. But even, you know, I didn't have a chance in the moment to talk to Travis about the report until we got in the car. So even hearing the fact that The mass did not shrink. It did not do what we wanted it to do. You know, instead of sitting there thinking about myself, I'm thinking, how is Travis taking this? What is he feeling like? And then my family, when I was texting them and updating them, and, you know, like my dad, aunts, uncles, mother-in-law, father-in-law, like, it affects everybody. It affects your entire family. So, luckily for me, I'm very blessed with a great family, and they're very supportive. And it was interesting. They, even though they didn't know what each other was going to say, a lot of them said very similar things, like, hey, this is just God. Then this is how I feel. This is just God showing he doesn't need the chemo. This is just, he wants all the glory, which he will get no matter what. But this is just further a testimony to him and his healing power and what he can do. Because again, he can heal me in a breath. He doesn't need chemotherapy. But it can, to try to get back on track from my last distraction, it can be difficult when you are suffering and going through this very extremely hard chemotherapy and treatment, and then to find out no change, right? For some people that could be disheartening or painful. For me, I walked into that appointment with a little bit of a knowing, like, hey, this probably isn't going to have changed, and that's okay. But I also went into it with this kingdom mindset. I've said that from the very beginning. As soon as I didn't even have the results of cancer yet, it was just a mass that I was getting it biopsied. I'm not wasting this. God has entrusted me on this assignment, so every single person I come in contact with, they're going to hear a little something about him, right? Or they're going to have some joy and some kindness spread in their lives. So when you go to these appointments, the hospital that I'm at anyways, you see the same people all the time. I've had how many mammograms now, and I had the same technician. She's amazing. Her name is Heather. She is the sweetest lady ever. You know, the secretary who checks me in for the mammogram, I've had her every single time. I've gotten to know her and form a little bit of a relationship with her and hear a little bit about her family. She's heard a little bit about my family. You know, so in those instances, when I walk into those appointments, it's so easy to be overtaken by me, and my situation, my problems. But I don't look at it like that. I'm on assignment. I'm on kingdom work. I'm there to glorify him and to shine for him and to let people know that he is the one who's going to heal me. But not in like an aggressive kind of way, like, you know, I'm coming at you. That can scare people a little bit. But so I just see it differently. I heard the other day the most beautiful, trying to remember where I heard it. I feel like it was at my church. It may have been Chantel, our pastor's wife. I think it was her. But she said, God sees you through rose-colored glasses, right? Like you might hear that expression. But really, he sees you through blood-stained glasses. Woo! Come on, y'all. That is good. Man, I wish I remember. I think it was Chantel. But anyway, just thinking of that, of like, it's just a different vision. You know, people go into these appointments sometimes, rightfully so, terrified, you know, hurting, sad, feeling hopeless, feeling just overwhelmed. It's a lot. These appointments are a lot. But when you have the hope, when your hope and your trust is in God, none of that matters. When you have those blood-stained glasses on, that's all you see. You only see him in every single step. No matter good, bad, perfect, ugly, it's only him. That's all you see. So I personally, and I could be wrong, I feel like I got confirmation last night on this, but from a friend who had no idea I was even anything in my mind. I hadn't made this video yet, but I personally feel almost like this was another little test from God to see, okay, all right, Laura, you've done this and this and this and this. What happens if the chemotherapy doesn't change anything? What if that report comes back negative? Are you still trusting me? Are you still obedient to me? Are you still loving me and following me blindly? Right? And like I said, I kind of got confirmation of that last night. She's like, I feel like I'm supposed to tell you this from Holy Spirit. And I'm like, girl, that is confirmation. Like, I already knew that. I knew it, man. I knew it. God is so good to me, sending me confirmation like that. And also during that difficult treatment, those chemotherapy. I mean, you know, I think most of you probably know I couldn't get out of bed. I'm still not feeling right from this last one. I keep hearing how good I look when I've run into the nurses or the secretary or the techs. They're like, even my hairdresser, you know, just different people. They're like, girl, you look so good. I don't feel so good. My body is, but I'm thankful I look good. Yeah. But I just feel my body is not recovering as quickly this time, and especially in the evenings I'm having a difficult time. I'm having a lot of side effects and a lot of symptoms and things, and it's not easy. It's tough, you know. Of course it's cancer is not easy, but I just feel God almost, I don't like to say gifted it to me, but it's almost a gift, you know, because if I don't ever feel like that, how can I have empathy for someone else? How can I have mercy for somebody else? And when I'm talking to them or when I interact with them in the future, relate with them, right? If everything just goes perfect for me and smooth for me, I can't help anyone else. So one right there, like, that's a gift. It's not, why is this happening to me? It's, who's it for? Who is this thing for in the future? There's a reason. We don't get to know God's plan and his reasoning and things. But also I feel like during that time when I was very sick in bed and couldn't get out, and even now, I've never felt closer with him, because especially after the Adenomyosin chemotherapy, I'd be laying in bed and I would be just really hurting, very, very sick, very, 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 very sick. I get sick just thinking about it. But I would cry out to him and say, like, Jesus, like, if this is your will, please take this from me. You know, I'd think about him on the cross. It was such a beautiful daily reminder, because he suffered and died on the cross for me, for you. Hi, buddy. And when you're feeling sick, oh, no, you'll knock that over. When you're feeling sick like that, you will, hey, go back upstairs for mama. If you need more food, ask Sissy Bear. Okay?
Can't.
She can. Ask her nice.
She can't.
She's doing school?
Yes.
Okay. I'll be up in just a minute. When you're feeling like that, when you're feeling that sick, it's almost, and also it's almost like you're fasting unintentionally, because I didn't want the TV on. I didn't want to talk to anybody. Like, don't come in this room. I'm so sick. And you aren't eating because you're sick. So it's almost like unintentionally you're fasting, because you're just with him and he's on your mind and your heart every second. Just laser focus. That's all you can focus on is, Lord, get me through this day. Get me through this night. I know I'm going to feel better in a couple of days, couple weeks. Just, Lord, be with me. And I think I also look at this differently, because I think I've kind of heard some people say, like, well, you know, aren't you upset with him? Aren't you angry with him that this report didn't come back the way that you wanted it to, or that this even happened to you? You know, you have your kids, and you're only, I was 34 when I was diagnosed. Now I'm 35. You know, your whole life ahead of you, and you know, aren't you angry? Aren't you angry he took your grandmother from this exact cancer at such a young age when you were so close with her? And I don't see it that way, because to me, he doesn't owe me anything, because he was so patient and loving and kind, and just this loving father who waited on me to find him. He's already gifted me the free gift of salvation, and I didn't know him before. I was disconnected from him before. I believed he was real. Yeah. Oh yeah, I totally believe God's real. 100%. There's a heaven and a hell. I'm a good person. I'm going to heaven. That's not how it works. I did not have a personal relationship with him. I did not know him. Had this terrible cancer happen to me, then this would not be the conversation that we would be having. I would be in a ball on the floor crying, literally, and Travis would be helping me function through my life. I guarantee you, I know myself that well, because that's what past Laura had done, right? Instead of standing tall and firm and saying, oh, don't you worry, doesn't matter what that report says, God's got me. I already believe I'm healed anyways, but he's got me no matter what. And I think the important thing for me to stress to you guys is there is hope in him, and that you're going to come up in these, I say this, I feel like almost every video, you're going to come up in these hard life circumstances, these hard times. It's inevitable. you might say, wow, well, you have cancer, but I don't have that type of situation. You may not ever get cancer, but you will have a hard life circumstance in some form or capacity in your lifetime, because sin entered the world, and that's just how it goes. So when those afflictions and hard times happen, what are you going to do? Who are you going to turn to? Where's your faith? Where's your trust? Where's your hope? And not just this a positive attitude. We need positive attitude, but not even just that. It's a total obedient trust and love. Is he Lord? Like, do you just know him, or is he Lord? Is he Lord of your life? Woo! That's a good sermon. But to me, he doesn't owe me anything, because he was so loving and patient and kind and waited on me to love him back, right? And he's gifted me. I don't have to worry about what's going to happen. I don't fear death, because I know. I don't just think. I know where I'm going. I know he's Lord of my life. I know I've obeyed him. I know that I follow him. I know that I trust him and love him. And I know that he loves me back. So therefore, there's no fear of death or anything that may pop up, a bad report, not feeling good. None of that matters. So I think when I go into these appointments, it's kingdom work time. We're working for him. We're on his clock. We're on his time. And I think when you can love other people, maybe you're like, okay, Laura, I'm not quite as extroverted as you. But when you can just show kindness to other people and the love of Jesus to other people, when you can sit and pray, you know how many people we prayed with? That appointment the other day had nothing to do with me. That appointment had nothing to do with my mammogram, my ultrasound. I got some labs done. I got a urinalysis done. What else did we do? I feel like we did something else. Oh, I had another doctor's appointment that day. None of those appointments were about me. They were all about him and glorifying him, and then loving on other people. Do you know how many people Travis and I came in contact with and were able to pray with? Like, so you could sit and go, oh, I'm so sorry, Laura, that you had that hard appointment and that report didn't come back. How about what did happen? Let's talk about what did happen. Let's talk about the people that we were able to pray with. Let's talk about the people we were able to make smile, making jokes and just kind of teasing each other and having a good time. Let's talk about the date that Travis and I had. That was a little date, even though we weren't really doing something super, super fun. Mammograms aren't super fun. But we kind of laughed and had fun, and just silly stuff. Like, he was carrying my purse for me. He didn't have it over his shoulder. He did not have it over his shoulder like a girl. He was holding my purse for me. And the one text, she was like, I see you purposely matched your purse with Travis's ensemble today. And I'm like, girl, you know it. Like, just having fun, just not walking into these appointments feeling hopeless and dreadful and like scared. Right? I think I shared the other day in a post, I shared a picture of my implants and the spacers, okay, that they fill with saline. They can fill them with air or saline, and they look almost just like an implant with a circle on them, and they're quite heavy. They feel like bricks when they're inside of you, apparently. But I shared that the plastic surgeon, and I loved this about him, but he was like, listen, like, I've done this a lot. I've seen every way it can go good. I've seen every way it can go bad. I don't want you to be scared. And I'm like, no, listen, I'm not scared. Let me tell you why. Because I have God. And I said, sounds like you're pretty prepared. I have a pretty prepared surgeon, which he's a believer as well. I feel like God gifts people talents, and he gifts them the ability to help other people and uses them as tools to do his kingdom work. So, I'm not scared. And when you know where you're going, when you're sure, boy, that washing machine is loud. Hope y'all can hear that. That's funny. You're not scared anymore, right? There is no fear of death. There is no fear of a bad report. That's just a piece of paper. It doesn't matter. What matters is God and his holy word and what he says and what he says about me. And he says, I'm anointed, protected, and loved. I'm good. I'm his child. I am his. He's called me by name, right? So why would I fear a piece of paper that says that there's a mass inside of me that hasn't shrunk down? That chemo wasn't wasted. That was growth time for me. That was time for me to learn how to interact with other people in the future. It was time for me in solitude by myself to just focus on me and God, and to cry out to him and to lean on him and humble myself and say, Lord, I need you, right? And just be thankful for every single breath that I take. It was a beautiful growth. It was hardest thing I've ever done, but it was beautiful. So I just think there's something so powerful in that. And I just wish everybody could see that and know that no matter what you're facing, God's in control. And it doesn't matter what that report says. If you've read the book of Revelation, it tells us that Jesus is coming back one day. I don't know if you know that. That's a whole nother video I need to make, but he's coming back. I didn't know that. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. I feel like old Laura would be embarrassed to admit that, but now I'm like, I'm almost proud of it, because I'm like, no, I want you to know. Like, I didn't know, so I want you to know. Jesus is coming back one day, and I want to be ready for that. He could come back today, before I even have my surgery, and I want to be ready with that. And it says he's going to clothe us in a white robe. Woo! Oh, I'm excited. A robe of righteousness. And I'm very excited for that. It's going to be good. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. But I just love y'all, and I just wanted to let you know I'm okay. I'm good. I don't feel good. I'm being honest. Apparently I look good, so that's exciting. But it's weird. It's like when you have the joy of the Lord, it doesn't matter that you don't feel good. Like, it's hard to even just stand here for this long to make the video. But I have the joy of the Lord, and I'm just thankful for every single breath I take. I'm thankful that I was able to walk down here to switch my laundry and to make this video. I'm thankful. My mind is kind of foggy from the chemo, but I'm thankful I can form a sentence and put these thoughts together and share them with you guys. So I just don't want you to worry about me. I think a lot of you were probably worried about me after. I should have made a video instead of a post. Worried about me when I gave my report, because it appears on paper that it's a negative report. It's a bad report. But the only report that matters is his. And he has final say. So I love y'all so very much. My surgery is August 12th. So I'm praying that I will feel much better before the surgery so that my body can properly heal. But guess what? The great news is, if it's not, I'm going to be sitting down a lot, resting for a couple weeks. So that's very exciting. I will be well rested, and I have some fun things planned to do with the kids while I'm sitting on the couch. So that's exciting. And I'm not worried. I'm not scared. I'm not worried. For those of you who love Travis, Travis is good. I did get in the car, and it was so cool that he had said the same things I was saying. Because at first thought, you go, well, wait, I did that really hard chemo and it didn't change? Like, not even at all? Like, sure, like 1 little percent, 1 little, no, like that, it humanly response is to go, wait, what? Are you sure? But when you have kingdom mindset, when you have supernatural mindset, when you have anointed mindset, Holy Spirit mindset, God mindset, faith mindset, you look at it different. Those blood-stained glasses. Woo! I've never seen more clear. Never seen more clear than I do now through these not rose-colored, blood-stained glasses. Oh, I'm so glad she taught me that. Boy, that was good. Chantel, you're so cool. So anyways, I love y'all so very much. And of course, Jesus loves